Okay, Bubba Tack here, and this is another video in my series of cleaning guns. I did one on a semi-automatic pistol. In this case, I'm going to be cleaning my Bushmaster carbine. How I clean it and lube it and all that. So, just getting into it is disassembling it. So, just pull that back real quick, show that it is unloaded. There's no ammo on the table. So I'll go ahead and start disassembling it. Go ahead and push out your back pin right here and pull it up, and then go ahead and get your bolt out of there, and go ahead and get the gunfighter out of there, your the cocking handle, and then go ahead and get this other pin right here on the front, and then you can disconnect your upper from your lower. And you go ahead and spray these down with, I like to use rim oil. Set that aside. I like to use CLP too, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to go ahead and clean it with this. Although this is a CLP, so go ahead and disassemble the bolt group now. The right size pin, punch, go ahead and push up that car pin, and go ahead and get the firing pin out, and then go ahead and put your stop pin right here, pull that out, pull the bolt out, and then go ahead and shoot that with some of the rim oil. Seen some specialty cleaners for the bolts. I'd love to get one. There's a couple different manufacturers, so it's up to you, but it just helps you clean it a little bit better. So down inside the bolt carrier, and then on the actual bolt around here, and then around here. So that's a good investment, and I'm looking to invest in one of those. I just don't have one right now, but I recommend it. So you go ahead and get your brush, and you go ahead and clean your bolt up and get behind here real good, and then put some of the rim oil on there while you're doing it. Make sure you get behind here real good, and then go ahead and get your bolt lugs real good, and then the bolt face right there where it contacts the chamber of the round, and go ahead and clean up your charging handle, because I actually grease mine. So it's a good idea after that grease gets dirty, go ahead and clean that off. And then you want to clean your firing pin up real well. Right there, gets real dirty right there. And then behind here, and then go ahead and clean that way. This gets kind of dirty, so you want to give it a good little scrub. And I go a little bit more detail than I'm doing. I'm just kind of doing it pretty fast. Then you go ahead and get in here. I usually get in here with this, and that's why the specialty tools to clean down in there are a lot nicer than having to use something like this, or also use something out of my pistols. Get down in there, give it a good twist. That kind of helps. And so those specialty tools make that a lot easier to do, but I kind of use what I got. So, and then pipe cleaners and stuff are good for cleaning this right here, but I don't really have any with me to show you that. So, but that's a good way to clean those, or the little piece that comes with this, putting that on there and getting it sprayed in there, get it real nice and clean in there. So that's good. And then when it comes to the so that's basically on that, the BCG bolt carrier group. So when it comes to cleaning the lower, I just get in there real good and get it clean right here by the buffer, and then around the hammer, and then I like to clean around the mag well, and then get it down in there. There's also products they make that make that a lot easier for cleaning around the fire control system, but I get it the best I can with what I got. So I like to cock the hammer. I had it uncocked, so I like to get down in there and clean like that, and then clean around the bolt stop, and then on the upper I go ahead and scrub real good down in there the best I can. And then to get the bore, I have this pull through that has it's a braided steel in there, and it's got like a rubber covering over it, or a plastic covering, clear covering over it, and then brass ends on it. And then put my brush on there, and I go ahead and pull it through, and do that a number of times to get the bore clean. My brother-in-law gave me one of these, and I think it was with an Otis kit that he had. He was in the Army National Guard, and he gave it to me. He gave me a couple other cool things. You do that a couple times. And then he gave me one of these, and it's already had this here bore brush. You know, it's got the stainless steel part here to clean where the lugs are, and then the brass part right here to clean the chamber. He gave me this thing that they gave me with his kit, this sort of long piece that's perfect for getting in there. So I go ahead and put in there and just give it a nice good turn, and pull it out a couple times and put it back in there and turn it a couple times, and it cleans it up real nice. So I like that a lot. I'm glad he gave me that. So give the bore a look, and it's looking pretty good. Go ahead and have a patch ready to go, and I've already done it a couple times with the brush, so it's good to go. And go ahead and put your other brass fitting on there, which has the eye hole, which allows you to put the patch through. And go ahead and run it through a couple times. There's no big deal with using like the big long rods to do it. I just prefer this here pull through. So go ahead and do that a couple times, and then go ahead and take a look at the bore, and it is looking nice and shiny in there. It looks like all the debris out and on the here patch. So go ahead and take the patch off, put this here patch on, and go ahead and put some rim oil on there. Get it nice and on there a bit, and then go ahead and feed it back to the bore. Bore snake's another thing you can invest in. I don't have one. I don't know, for a shotgun I think it's a great idea, but I don't have one for an AR. But if you want to invest in one of those, there's all sorts of products out there to make cleaning as hassle-free as possible. And I suggest cleaning is very important. So I suggest getting whatever you need to make it less of a chore for you, so that you do it as often as you need to with your guns to prolong their life and give them a long service life for you. So I pull that patch through a couple of times to get that nice in there and remove any excess that may be in there. And then I use take off this here brush that was on there, and I get the fitting. I can't remember if it fits on here real well or not. It might not. No, it does. Okay. And I put that on there, and then I get a clean patch and I clean up the chamber, because I don't like to leave oil in my chambers. So go ahead and put that in there and clean out the chamber a little. That's all. See just a little part of grease in it. So I take my bolt here and I get a little bit on my finger, and there's 4 rails on here. And I didn't come up with this at all, or I don't do anything special. I got this off of YouTube, and the idea back a couple of years ago of lubing my guns this way, using something a little bit different than oil that kind of doesn't stay where I want it to. But this grease does, and I like doing that, so that's why I've started doing it. I'm just kind of showing, and there's plenty of videos out there on it, but just kind of showing my procedures, which, like I said, aren't unique in any way. So get those 4 rails, and then go ahead and get right here, get you a little bit on your finger, and get right around here around the bolt, and then get right here on the back of the lugs, and maybe a little bit on the sides, not a lot. Any excess, just take off with your fingers, and then you can take a little bit of that excess and put it right here on this piece, and then you're ready for reassembly. I basically just lube the bolt and then the charging handle. Go ahead and just put it on there and run it down, not a lot, just a little, and just get it nice and lubed up, so it just moves in there a little bit easier. And then kind of move my finger like that to get the excess off. And just those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 places on the bolt carrier group, and then the charging handle is about all I do. There's probably a couple others that could be useful, but that's just what I do. So ready for reassembly. Put my lid back on there. Go ahead and put your bolt back in here, and then go ahead and put pin back in there. And put your firing pin in. And go ahead and put your cotter pin back in there. And when you do that, it should be able to stand. It may not be able to stand real well on this towel that I have, but it shouldn't compress while you're doing that. Right here on this. So it shouldn't compress, and that means your rings are good. And I actually replaced the rings on these not too long ago. Ready to go ahead and put it back inside the upper, which has been dried off and everything, and is ready to go. And we're ready to go back on the lower. So you can also take out your buffer and your buffer spring and give that a nice clean, but I don't really think you need to do that all the time. So go ahead and work the action a couple times, check the trigger. Seems like everything's working the way it should, safety's working. So that is my disassembly and cleaning, and then lubing up, and then reassembling a MSR, in this case a AR-15. So thanks for watching.